I'm going to go on sabbatical. So there is a Hasidic story of a man who went to see the Rabbi, and he asked, what do you do when life is just spinning all around you and it's just hard to do anything? When life is just like that, the world is in that place for you, for the whole world. So the Rebbe thought, and he said, what you need is you need to have a pole to hold on to. Because you can't stop the spinning, but if you have a pole to hold on to, at least you don't fall to the ground. What you have to do is learn how to find that pole and learn how to hold on to it. Just the way you're holding on to my leg. There's a teaching in the Talmud that the temple in Jerusalem, the ancient temple, had one stone, the Even Shtiyah, and that stone was the foundation of the entire temple. The whole temple was built upon this one stone. And so the teaching goes, just like the temple has one stone, we also have one place within us that's our foundation, if we can find it. And so in our Torah portion this week, Jacob, the grandson of Abraham, has spent decades outside of his home, and he's finally returning. But then he finds out that his brother Esau, whose blessing he stole all those years before, is coming his way with 400 armed men. And so what does he do? He panics. And he comes up with a plan. What can I do? He divides his camp into two different parts. He sends one way and then the others the other way. And the Torah says that finally he walks across the river and he's left all alone, levad. Jacob is all alone. And it's at that moment we can imagine what's going through his mind, that suddenly the angel comes and attacks him. And he spends all night until daybreak wrestling with the angel. And so what was going on in Jacob's mind in this very difficult moment? All of his old fears and worries about his brother, maybe his sense of guilt for what he had done, wondering what would happen to him and his family, his old mistakes finally catching up with him. Maybe why did I decide to return home? I'm sure that was going through his mind. So it's interesting, the word for wrestling here is a very unique word, and it comes from the word for dust. And some of the commentators say the angel came and didn't only fight with him, but put dust into his face. He couldn't even see. He didn't know what he was wrestling. He was just churning. He was in that place. Some say it was even the spirit of Esau that was attacking him. He was just, could no longer see. But when the morning came, he was undefeated. And the angel said, I need to go because it's morning. And Jacob said, I will not let you go until you bless me. And then he says, I will give, what is your name? He says, Jacob. He says, your name will no longer be Jacob, your name will be Israel. And then with this new name, he confronts his brother Esau, and his brother, instead of attacking him, embraces him, and they weep together. So Jacob was able to wrestle all night with all of that was happening inside his mind, inside himself, because he was holding on to his Even Shtiyah, his foundation stone, to his faith, to his belief in his life, despite all that was coming up. He had spent a whole life holding on to it, so he knew where it was. He could hold on to, he could see where he needed to find a place within himself. And so Chanukah, we've been singing Chanukah songs. Chanukah's coming up. We have our big Chanukah party on Sunday. We're beginning to sense it's really all about that faith and that steadiness. The Maccabees were just a small group against the mighty Greeks, but they managed to defeat them. And then they came in, they rededicated the temple, but there was only oil enough for one night, but it lasted 8 nights. And they held on. And then there was a great celebration that we still commemorate with so much gratitude. We thank for all the wonders. So first, the light is barely visible. You can't even hold on to it. But then it grows. It becomes 1 candle and 2 candles. And finally, we have all 8 candles. Ocho candelicas. And the small light is able to banish all the darkness. And we know our world needs that. So as our kids have been singing in kindergarten, they'll be singing with Cantor on Sunday. Banu choshech legaresh. We have come to dispel the darkness. In our hands are light and fire. Every one of us is just one small light. But when we're all together, we are a mighty force, a mighty light. Go away, darkness. Fly away before the light. All we have to do is each find our pole, each find our foundation stone, and then we can hold on. Shabbat Shalom.